everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make these beautiful pistachio shell snowflakes. In case you haven't been following, this is part of my Christmas countdown of crafts going on right now. This year I've been using items typically found in nature and creating easy projects that are inexpensive and should take about an hour to complete. So if you're interested in making these delicate snowflakes, stay with me and I'll walk you through each step.
The first thing you'll need to do is eat some pistachios and save the shells. Mine are unsalted and not dyed. You can find this 10-ounce bag at Aldi's for around $3.85. I'm going to show you the smaller snowflake first. You'll need 10 regular-sized popsicle sticks, and I'm using this 1.5-inch wooden star as backing, but you could cut something from cardboard just as easily, or you could even use a plain circle. You'll also need lots of hot glue as well. To begin, I used a pencil and kind of eyeballed the center of the stick and made a mark at the top and the bottom, then connected each point using a straight edge. Then I glued a shell at the very top and slowly worked my way down using the line as a central guide. As you can see, I'm adding a slight upward angle to my line of shells. You can either apply glue on the stick or on the shell, but be cautious because the hot glue will burn you if you aren't careful. Also, remove any skins that are left behind in the shell before applying. I was able to fit 5 rows on either side of my popsicle sticks. If you'd like, you can flip the stick over and reinforce the shells with a little more glue. Once that's completed, repeat the same process until you have 5 sets. Using my star as a guide, I applied hot glue at the very top and attached one arm of the snowflake. Then I carefully added the rest. Because I have a blank space in the middle, I made a little rosette by gluing 3 nuts as the center, then gradually branched out until it was large enough to cover the void. I didn't like that you could see some of the dried glue down the center, so I added more hot glue and glitter as a fix and also for a little pizzazz. You could stop here technically and have just a star, or gather the remainder of the popsicle sticks to create wings and turn it into a snowflake. I came down on the back of each arm and added the sticks horizontally between the first and second rows. That seemed like a good spot because if you drop them down any lower, they'll hit into each other, although you could cut the sticks and make them shorter if you'd like to place them further down. Then I glued 2 shells on each side. One tip, you might want to try to choose smaller shells from the bowl, as the bigger shells might not fit. I ran into that issue, so the second one overlaps slightly, but that's okay because once the glue dries, they're set. Keep going until all 5 wings are filled with shells. Before moving forward, I decided to add some hanging hardware on the back, and this could also double as a means to attach a Christmas tree hook. I wanted to make it cohesive and fill some of the gaps, so I used more hot glue and glitter again to fix those issues. I had just enough left and really love how intricate and delicate this small snowflake turned out. For the larger snowflake, I used these thicker tongue depressor sticks. You can find them online, in stores, or even at the pharmacy. I followed the same method as before and drew a center line as a guide, except this design didn't really look right with a top shell, so I only added rows. I wasn't really sure how far down the stick to go, so I added 11 shells to each side. I wanted to switch things up a little, plus fill in the gaps, so I added a shot of hot glue and placed the shell with the insides facing up. This added a really nice contrast. I continued until all 5 arms were complete, then arranged them as evenly as I could on the table. I decided which one I wanted to be the head of the snowflake, as I'll call it, and I glued the 2 upper arms on top and 2 lower arms on the back of it. Then I created another rosette type center, but this time I did it by gluing shells in a circular pattern directly in the middle. I really love how this looks, and in the future, I might experiment with making just flowers and spray painting them. Speaking of which, at this point, I took it outside and gave it a shot of glitter spray to kind of match the smaller one. Next, I gathered 5 more tongue depressors, and as you can see, they're a little too large to use them as is. So I taped them together in a stack and first trimmed the rounded end off using my miter saw, then cut them to 5.5 inches overall. Then I glued the sticks just below the 3rd row on each arm and repeated until all of the wings were attached. Then I drew a center line for guidance and hot glued 3 shells on each side of the arm that fan upwards and downwards. Repeat until all 5 arms are completed. Next, grab the hot glue one more time and add 4 shells to each half of the wing by running a bead down the center and placing them upwards to match the arms. You can now add any hanging hardware you'd like, and I took mine outside once again and gave it a final dusting of glitter spray to finish the look. And here is a closing shot of the final product. I really love how these turned out, and it's hard to believe they're made from such simple materials. Make sure you let me know in the comments if you plan to try this craft for yourself.
So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see the rest of the countdown. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well. As always, thanks so much for watching and supporting my channel, and until next time, take care.